Well, Lion Bob,
What, is it time?
it is time.
Oh, gee, okay. All right, let me consult my notes here and see if we get off and running. Okay, it is time, so we'll call the meeting to order here, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Lion George.
All righty. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
For all.
That's right. I'll write that down for you, George, okay? And Lion Zenny, would you do the invocation, please?
Lord, we offer you this gathering to you and ask you to bless it. We thank you for this opportunity of being together to carry out faithfully what we come to see as our duties. Guide us as we work and make us determined to do them. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Good. Well, our tail twister doesn't seem to be here. He's probably off fishing someplace. So let's go around the room. I'll do it. Over here to me is Lion Secretary. No, maybe not the Lion Secretary. Your Lion Treasurer, Lyle, and then Sharon here, board member. Bill here, Lion Bill Graziano. Lion George here. Lion Zenny here, and Senior Lion Joe Farah right there. And speaking of Lion Joe, do we have any correspondence that we should know about?
Well, yes. Firstly, the district has been in touch with the hotel where the convention was going to be held, and together they decided no live convention. It's just they'll be doing the elections and the voting of new district officers by Zoom. And then we got a letter from Lion Viola DuPont informing us that she's very busy at her job and that she will be unable to attend any meetings for a year or so. And she sends us her best wishes. The Melvin Jones plaques arrived, and our members to whom they were awarded received them through the efforts of Lion Lyle Workman. He hand-delivered the plaques. They're beautiful, beautiful, impressive-looking plaques. That's the extent of my correspondence.
Thank you, Lion Joe. Let me expand a little on Viella. I spoke to her personally, and you know, with this issues that we have with the pandemic and all the things that are going on with the clinic, she is just totally busy down there trying to keep everything together. And so consequently, we spoke, and I said, just, you know, take a leave of absence, okay, and show up when you can, and we'll see you when you also can. So she's still a member, and she'll be there. And the most important thing I told her was just to pay her dues.
She said that she's retiring the end of the year.
That's what she said, yeah.
Totally busy. Not only that, and maybe trying to move into the new location. So certainly I can understand that. And our job comes first, of course. And she's retiring, so she's trying to get everything together before her retirement at the end of the year.
Good, okay. Now, before we move to some committee reports, well, we might as well, let's start with the youth and community and whatever we have to do from drawing and giving some money away. Lion Lyle, what do you think of that?
Well, as if all of you that have checked your email, I've been a little busy.
Yes.
First of all, I'll get to the rules later. It's too highfalutin or something.
I like it.
I'll get to that. I want to ask or present to the club that this year there have been on the subject of returned and lost books. There have been a total of 274 books lost and returned.
Wow.
And most of those reside with one club, and that is St. Paul of the Shipwrecked. And the large reason for that is the woman who handled it for quite a while, Loretta Chapman, retired at the end of last year. And the new girl, I don't know her name offhand, was probably surprised by having gotten the reins of this. So consequently, they returned or lost 231 books, which is
Right.
quite a bit. Ordinarily, we would charge those clubs that have lost books, which actually is a total of four groups, $2 per book. And what I'm asking for advice on is I would recommend that we only charge the clubs $1 per book. And that's a total of $274. That would be out of our pockets, so to speak, instead of $2. Number one, it aids that particular group quite a bit. Secondarily, it builds some good feelings between us and our selling groups. Okay. As I mentioned, St. Paul the Shipwreck is the largest recipient of largesse as far as that's concerned. And then Council of Past Masters has 24. Our Lady of Lords has 14 out of 300. And Stars of Hope has 5. So those groups are rather negligible. But St. Paul the Shipwrecked is the largest, I'll call it recipient, if we decide to do this. Anyway, in terms of dollars and cents, as I figure it, so far we've made $7,600 on the raffle, which is pretty fair considering the times in which we find ourselves, aka the Chinese bat flu pandemic. But if we were to let those books go for $1 a piece, we would make $274 less, which is not really huge. But anyway, that's where it sits. I wanted any feelings or advice. Right now, we sit almost identically with last year, which was $74.59. If we were to let that 274 go, we would make just a slight less than that, as I figure it. So, any comments or questions?
Lyle, how many books did St. Paul the Shipwreck actually sell and turn in?
They took
Turn in the money for them.
They took 400 books. They sold 169. They returned 79, and they lost 152. And I do believe that's because the previous person who was handling the raffle, Loretta, I hate to say it, I think she probably dropped the ball. It could be a combination of dropping the ball and the current situation, the pandemic we find ourselves in. People just kind of lost their minds and lost stuff, and it is what it is. Okay.
I'm very familiar with St. Paul the Shipwreck. It's one of the ones that I got started. They normally take 400 or 450 books. They've done it for quite a few years. They have a new person. As you said, Loretta used to they had very few lost books. I would say we want to keep them. They're going to be having a new pastor. So Father Dan is retiring. So I would say let's go for the $1. I mean, this is very rare because St. Paul the Shipwreck is usually sell 95% of their books.
Right.
So
I also want to say that we're not losing money by only charging them $1 per book. Our cost per book is 68 cents. So we still make a smidgen, a very small smidgen, on the cost, the actual cost of the books. So, you know, as I say, we're not losing anything. We're just gaining, you know, some good feedback, some good trust. Now, in terms of dollars and cents, without the $274, we are paying out to the various sellers of the books $7,612. If we were to include that $274, it would be $7,886. So that's where we sit right now. Naturally, you don't have all the facts and the figures and everything else. I don't have quite all of it. Right now, our total income from the fundraiser is $20,512. And we have $11,394 in payables. So our gross profit right now is, as I said, about $7,600. So anyway, I just wanted to discuss that a little bit. A lot, you know, most of you are just like too many numbers, too many facts, too much stuff. And I'm right there with you. But as I say, we're not going to lose money at $1 a book. And I would probably recommend that we do that. Send them the additional funds. They can always use it.
Did the San Bruno Club participate this year?
They did. They only took 10 books. That was line Peter Carey from the Locksmith. I believe he's the only one that purchased the tickets, really, to be honest with you.
To whom did he return the tickets?
He returned them to me.
Okay.
He mailed them to me or sent them by UPS because he actually sent cash, which is unusual, but nevertheless. I'm going to take a lot of time at this meeting now, and I apologize. Earlier today,
vote on what you just proposed, or
what was that? Well, this is not really a board meeting, so I just wanted to bring it up and let everybody know what my thoughts were. We don't have a board meeting until the 7th of April.
Is it reasonable what you are asking?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
what you're telling us?
I think everybody here are primarily board members. With the even Bill's a board member. All 8 of us here are board members, so we have a quorum. And you know, kind of outside of a strict board meeting, I would make a motion that we do that. We spend or send them the additional $274. And the reason I would like to do that is I would like to get the checks to them in the mail by the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I see no reason to withhold the funds from them until after the drawing, which is a month from now. We have all their money. They have all paid. Everything is cleared the bank. So let's get them their money before the end of the month. And that's not a problem. There's only there's only 8 or 10 groups that get checks. So I will make the necessary adjustments and take care of that but I would like to make a motion that we only charge the various selling groups $1 per book instead of $2, costing us $274.
Second that.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
May we also add something to that?
Sure.
Okay.
What's up?
As we tell the people we're going to charge them $1, do you think it might be appropriate to mention that the normal charge would be $2, but because of this year?
That all that information is included in the letter that I sent.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
good.
What happens is the letter, most of you have never seen the letter. In fact, probably all of you have never seen the letter I include with the check. And if there are adjustments like this, the adjustments are mentioned in the letter.
Super.
Okay. That's all taken care of by a spreadsheet and Microsoft Word. It's the magicry of computers and all that kind of horse crap. Anyway, I made the motion. Bill seconded it. What say you?
In favor,
I tell you, we have a motion, we have a second. What do we say?
Aye.
raise your hand.
Aye.
Hey, excellent. Checks in.
Done.
Hello, Lion Steve.
Yes, welcome, Lion Steve.
You're in uniform today.
You look like you're outside. Steve, you're not, you push the button. We don't hear
No
you.
audio there, buddy.
It looks like he's outside.
Yeah. Okay. He's happy. Good deal.
Having his dinner. Okay.
Excellent. I'm going to take some more time, and I apologize for this. We have, as a club, have never had what I'll call rules for the youth and community raffle. And over time, the last 3 or 4 years, there have been a number of instances that have come up that we've taken care of, kind of behind the scenes, that were not really included in any formal rules. Now, I sent everybody a PDF. It was kind of late this afternoon, about 4 o'clock or so, maybe even 5 o'clock. What I did was I put together a few rules that kind of occurred to me earlier today.
Yeah.
That was the first email I sent. And then after that, I went, digging around the internet, which I often do. And I found a set of rules from another group. Oddly enough, it was a San Francisco curling club, if you can believe that. I didn't know San Francisco had a curling club, but nevertheless. They had a set of rules from 2019 that I grabbed onto and edited most of the information to enter the name of our club where necessary and a few other odds and ends. And I included all those rules, which were kind of extensive, a little bit formal, for inclusion for our raffle. The only thing that I was not able to complete and change was a section called to purchase tickets, and that's on page 2. The unedited words are highlighted in red and with a line through them, letting you know that those will be changed over time as soon as I figure out what the hell to say. But the rest of it is kind of a combination of what I sent early today and all new stuff. As I say, a lot of it's rather formal. You may think a lot of it unnecessary, and I agree with that. But I think in order to cover our CYA, almost said that. In other words, in order to CYA, we need to include a lot of that extra wording. So hey, if you get a bug up your butt, don't sue us.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing. But a lot of it is, and this will not be settled at this meeting, I don't think. But
I do like it, you know.
well,
You
one of
took a
the
lot of time in trying to draft this.
actually, well,
I
I
like the I
I
like
did
the
spend some
idea.
time. I did spend some time. The edits were probably more time in finding and copying the information that was there. But I thought all of it was fairly important
Mm-hmm.
to include. What I'm asking you for is not so much an approval of what is written already, but your thoughts as to what is not there. What am I missing? What's missing on all this? At the very end, there's a title of something called selling groups, and those are rules that will pertain to selling groups. I haven't even thought of that, really, to be very honest with you, but I knew it was going to be something. Is there anything else that you saw at all that can be added to, changed, whatever? And I'm not asking for you to do it right this very minute, because it's probably not possible. But over the next week or so, if you can take the time to look at that, read it, and see if there's anything you would suggest that be added. Okay. And with that, I'm going to end my report.
Superb.
I like it at first glance, Lyle.
Yeah.
Because having worked with the former Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals judge of the federal government, there's a lot of legalese words there that are beneficial to our club because of the indemnity that you put in there.
Right.
So I appreciate
And
that.
a lot of that is not my doing. A lot of that is just copying and doing a very small amount of editing to insert our club name and a couple other odds and ends.
But you see that in a lot of contracts. Even George Saleh's contract have those types of indemnity. Any contract will have that.
Yeah, well, plumbers have their own.
No, George, you do have indemnities in your.
How much money do you have? Great, send me a check.
It's
Don't
very
like that, I'll change it right for you. And he reads everything. Everything she reads.
That's
before we leave the subject. Thank you, Lyle. It's a lot of work you do on that.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that much. It really was not. I just
one of it.
Well, I took what others had done and kind of mumble jumbled it.
I kind of felt a little nervous. You went over the hill instead of going around the hill.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it till you left, and I said, Lyle went over the hill. So, you know what I'm talking? You had an adventure, didn't you?
Sometimes when you got a hill in front of you, you just have to dig your own tunnel.
That's what I'm saying.
That's simple.
Dig the tunnel, that's right. Get through it.
That's good.
Okay. That's my spiel, line president, and I'm gonna shut up now.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Lyle. Superbly done. Okay. And now the next thing, well, the football pool is over. The crab feed is okay. Lion Sharon, what happened with the speakers little contest earlier this week?
What contest? I mean the zone contest?
Yeah, the zone contest. Was that the zone contest? Yes.
Yeah, that was Monday.
Yeah, but who? Go ahead.
I don't know. I haven't gotten any information from them on who won, who the winners
were. Really?
Yeah.
Well, seeing that our speaker was the only person in our zone, I think perhaps he won, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, well, yeah, he would because he was the only one. But she had a joint contest with another zone person. And I don't know who won from that.
Oh,
It wouldn't affect us, but this is not in my region.
okay, well, I'm only concerned with what's going on in our region here. So can we consider the fact that our student speaker, Mr. Fong, might have won?
Oh, he did, because he was the only one. Jenny didn't have any other, that was it. That was her winner.
Okay.
I mean,
And then we'll find out who he has to face up against next.
when the other zone chair, Bill, when he has his meeting, which I think is coming up at the end of the month, then that winner will go against Jenny's winner in my contest.
Okay. All right.
And
Which is
what are
gonna
the
be held-
details of your contest, Sharon?
My contest is going to be held on April the 11th at the Burlingame Clubhouse at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it will be 3 regions. The 3 regions are doing a joint contest.
Cool.
Well, there are 5 regions. 2 regions didn't have any contests this year. So regions 2, 4, and 5 are doing a joint contest on April the 11th, which I think is a Sunday.
Yes, it is.
And how that works, I do not know, but I'll find out. And then Michael Colfero is the Region 5 chair, who is also the chair of the student speaker contest. And he's not sure if there's going to be a district contest or not. He's planning on there being one, but he hasn't gotten final word yet. So whoever wins the region contest, I guess, goes on to his district contest.
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. So one step at a time. At least we know we're moving forward. And Sharon, thank you for all the time you put in on this, to help our guy get where he is. Okay.
Okay.
What's happening with the sponsoring of the council meeting?
Well, that just happens to be my next thing right here. See,
All right.
Okay. We got a lot of information on this, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. I think I want to kind of open it for discussion because, I'm a little bit ambivalent of whether we should or whether we shouldn't. I don't want to take on any responsibility more than we have to, especially when it comes to some of the technical parts of it. And if all we have to do is an introduction and the pledge and play a tune and have an invocation and then throw the ball back to the council, that may be easy enough. But there may be something we do at the end concerning I don't know who puts it together, the whatever the quiz or is
The
at
host
the end.
club. That's the responsibility of the host club.
Okay. So if we do
But I must tell you that Lyle sent an email to the coordinating council, and they're under the impression that came from the club. So they are assuming that you don't want to do the hosting. If you want to do the hosting, you need to let me know tonight so I can tell Peter, because otherwise he's going to have to find some of their arrangement.
Do they have a host at each one of these clubs, or is it?
At a meeting, every club is asked to host a meeting. I explained to Lyle that before the pandemic, the council used to meet once a month at a restaurant.
Yes.
The hosting club was responsible for finding the restaurant and making the dinner arrangements and doing the first part of the meeting. And they didn't have any games or anything because it was a live thing. They're doing that now during the pandemic because they don't have a dinner. So they're trying to fill time. And so they came up with the idea of having a game at the end of the meeting. And if you didn't want to stay, you could go, but you had to be present to win a prize.
Okay.
So that's how that came about. Normally, in a normal year, they don't do that.
Okay.
The dinner fills up the
let's
extra
see what,
time.
so you're saying that we got to do an introduction and the closing is, here's the trivia question. There are 5 questions on the history of San Francisco or
Right,
something
or
like that.
whatever you want to do. Something like I explained to somebody, some of the clubs do this little spin game where you put everybody's name on this wheel and you spin it around, and
I
whoever.
saw that.
Yeah, that's one of the clubs did that. Some have done trivia, some have done riddles. It's just whatever you want to do. But like I say, if the club is going to vote tonight to do that, to host that meeting, I need to let Peter know right away.
Well, who's going to do all that stuff? Does that mean that it's going to fall on Lyle?
No. The club does it. The club. Somebody does the Pledge of Allegiance, somebody does the invocation, and somebody does a patriotic song. Then the meeting is turned over to the president of the coordinating council, and he has his agenda for the night. The club doesn't have anything to do with setting the agenda. Then when he's through with his agenda, and they have, I think the last thing on the agenda is club reports. After that, people who want to stay can stay and participate in whatever the entertainment is going to be, whether it's going to be a trivia game, riddles, whatever. So most of the clubs have like the president and the vice president and the secretary, 3 people that do the beginning part, and then somebody that does the game at the end. And that's it. It's no big responsibility. You're not planning the meeting. You're not chairing the meeting. You're just helping call the meeting to order and doing the first 3 things.
Okay, the first 2 things in regards to the call the meeting to order, the pledge and invocation. The song is where, I would see if we can get a video of Sinatra singing something. I don't know whether that's appropriate.
Well, actually, somebody did that. Somebody got a song from one of the ball games, I think, and did it as. Oh no, it was Lady Gaga who did it at the inauguration. She sang "God Bless America" or whatever. But it was very effective. Actually, it was very nice. But and then one of the other clubs, they just happened to have somebody that has a beautiful voice, and she sang it herself.
Oh, anybody want to audition?
Yeah.
But Lyle would find something.
Okay, Lyle.
If I may say something, there were several emails going back and forth starting on March 11th concerning the San Francisco Council and getting a host. Firstly, the club that was going to do it decided that they could not for whatever reason. I have no idea what it was. Okay. And as I say, there were several emails going about, a little bit of confusion, which is not unusual. And this is what I wrote to line Peter Tam, who is the president of the council. Quote, I suggest to line Peter Tam that the San Francisco Council does not need a host club for their meeting while having their meetings on Zoom. For in-person meetings, perhaps. The host club serves no real function in Zoom meetings, close quote.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I said that is the San Francisco Council is holding on very tightly to what was done pre-pandemic. In other words, you have to have a host club, you have to have this, you have to have that, blah, blah, blah. And the reason I wrote this is that if you look at the structure and the meeting itself, they are handling all the technology. They have all the people involved. If you choose to attend, you attend, okay? It does not matter what club, if any club, hosts their meeting while they're holding it via Zoom. It's just like one of our meetings. The president is there. He calls it the order or to order. You go on verbally from there. Okay. It's not like you have a dinner. It's not like you have anything else involved. It's just like any other Zoom meeting. It may be boring to some, more clear cut to others. In the final analysis, it's probably not as good as an in-person meeting, at least in my thoughts. So anyway, I wanted to clear that up. It was addressed or signed by myself. It had nothing to do with what our club would or would not do. Okay. They need to grow up. They need to get a grip on themselves and figure out what to do. They have all the people they need. Okay. That is just my opinion. Okay. And from there, I'm not going to say anything else.
Well, if we're only adding to the fact that we're only gonna say the prayers and the Pledge of Allegiance and a song, and then a game in the end, there isn't really a lot of benefit to us except the fact that we are trying to cooperate with them and be nice as an associate club per se. But other than that, there's really no other benefit to us except being cordial.
I can agree with that wholeheartedly. Yes, that's pretty much it.
The only advantage I see is when you make your club report that we get to kind of let them know we're here and plug some of the things that we're doing that might help the other clubs. But we can do that just by showing up.
That's right. That's why I say it's totally up to you guys. You know, I guess Peter just assumed from a letter that was coming from the club. I don't know. He just wrote me back and said, well, he tried to get another club, and then he sent another email saying he couldn't find anybody, so the council will host the meeting.
Well, if he's willing to do that, why do we have to be there as part of the?
Every club who is a member of the council is supposed to show up at the meetings.
So supposed to show up,
Yeah,
but not necessarily participate.
I'm not saying you have to host the meeting. I'm saying they expect the club presidents to show up at the meetings and give a club report of what is going on, what the club is doing.
Which I have done, and I'll do it next Wednesday.
Yes.
As long as I get the link, I'll show up. And when they ask us, I'll tell them, hey, look at this and look at that and so forth. And, you know, come join us. And I think that'll.
So where are we in this particular junction? Are we doing it? Are we not doing it? Or
it's up to you. Like I said, Peter Lamb, who is the president, is just under the impression that we didn't want to do it. So it's up to you if you want me to tell him, no, you will do it, or no, if you still don't want to do it, I won't say anything.
Are we paying monthly or annual dues to the council?
No,
I don't think
No,
so.
not that I know of.
No.
that hasn't happened for many years, Joe.
Yeah. Now, whether when they did the meetings, whether they charged a little extra, when they did the dinners, whether they charged a little extra for the dinners and had made some money off of that, I do not know.
I never saw that. The ones that I attended with Larry.
I think we should make this simple all around and agree to host this council meeting, particularly in view of the fact that Sharon is an officer of the council.
Well, I appreciate that, but you know, it's up to the board whether they think, you know, they want to do it. Don't do it for me, which I appreciate that thought, but do it because the board either wants to or doesn't want to do it.
Well, I think we should get the president off the hook. He's on the hook and he's drifting. And I don't think it's a big deal. I just think let's do it and go through the motions.
All right, Joe, we can do it if we get the commitment of 3 people to show up to do the, hi, here's the pledge and here's the invocation, and maybe a song by, Frank Sinatra or somebody like that.
Yeah, you don't have to have a song. You can just, like if Lyle can find a clip of something.
Yeah.
Play a record.
A
Well, like he
record?
has the flag.
What's a record, Joe?
He has the flag there. But people have done that at other things where they'll do a patriotic song and nobody sings it. It just comes up on the. Sometimes it's a good recording, sometimes it's not. But they make an attempt to do it.
Oh, Lion Steve hang up.
He had to go back to.
Yeah.
He had that was his the dinner break, and now he's back to securing the hospital.
He sent me a message via the chat room that he had to go back to work.
Yeah.
When is the council meeting?
On the next Wednesday, on the 24th.
What time is that?
If required, I will show up. If I have the flag already that we use at our meetings, it's not a problem. If you want a patriotic song of some type via, say, a video, generally speaking, it's not a problem, but I need advance notice so that I can actually download and have the video available on my system. The reason for that is if you try to show a video that is not within your own system on Zoom, what happens is there is a lag or a perceived slowdown, because when you play a video that is not on your system, what happens is the video is downloaded from the web and then simultaneously uploaded to the web again via your system. So your system is acting as a conduit, and there's a lag there, and there could be breaks in the reception or breaks in the video and things of that nature. So if we want a musical rendition of something patriotic, not a problem, but I need to know in advance so I can download it and have it ready. Okay?
But if we were to be part of the council meeting on the 24th, most likely we will need a recording as you suggested.
I have no trouble with that. I just need some.
I'm prepared to show up, and Lyle is, and Sharon is.
Yeah.
That's at least 3.
Yes.
Well, there's Bob too.
There's Bob.
So you have 4.
Yeah, as the president, I'll come in and introduce and pass the ball around and say that if you need some trivia questions at the end, like, who really founded San Francisco and how many people are left downtown, things like that, we can have a little fun with that.
So we have to delegate who's going to do invocation and pledge of allegiance and all that stuff, Mr.
Well, there is a couple things at the end being glossed over slightly, is that the council has been raffling off or awarding, however it happens, gift cards of some type. How many prizes there will be, I have no clue.
1.
I must say, just as a comment, I think that that is an incorrect practice. If you are quote unquote bribing people to come to the meeting, why are you even having a meeting? They should be there to do the good work of Lions, not to win a gift card.
Well, because I'm an officer and I have to attend all those meetings. When I used to do the first couple of meetings, I did the trivia part. People donated gift cards, and I think there was one grand winner that got the cards. You don't win every. I could be mistaken, but they're all donated cards. Peter donated the cards the first and second time we did it, and some other folks who won cards gave them back, so that somebody else got those cards. So I mean, I can find out from Peter what,
From the emails that I saw, going back and forth, there are apparently several gift cards that will be awarded at this meeting.
Well, they've been some donated.
I didn't say anybody bought them. I'm just saying they're there. That's
Yeah,
all.
right. Yeah, they'll be there. Because I offered, because I have gift cards here from Starbucks that I use for that purpose. So I'm willing to donate some for that. But I don't.
I understand that.
Yeah.
If we are to host that type of a raffle, we need to know in advance.
Okay, so I can find out from Peter.
Yeah, whatever.
Depends on what you want to do for your thing. If you do a trivia contest, then it could be whoever gets the most answers correct is the grand winner, and there's only one gift card.
However it works.
Okay, I can put together the trivia contest, and you know what it'll be about, and just to do that, to put together 5 or 8 questions, about who was where and what happened on this date and so forth, and the quote club that gets the most answers, the most right answers, they can have the gift cards, but that's something to run by Mr. Lamb.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Yeah, because I think what he did is each round there was somebody, you got points if you got the right answer. So at the very end, the person who had acquired the most points was considered the winner.
Cool. We'll put together the rules and we'll just send it out to Peter and say,
Right,
that's the way we're going to do it.
Because that's what I did when I did the first trivia thing. I set up the rules for the
Good.
game.
Can be done. I'll do
What
it.
time is that meeting on the 24th?
7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I think it is that. Wait a minute. There it is. 7 o'clock online.
So somebody will send us a link?
Pardon me, George?
Somebody will send us a link?
Well, that's a good question too, because will all of us get this link that I got?
I'll ask Peter.
Okay, because if
I've never seen that, so I don't know.
okay, well, the link has got to come to just came in this afternoon.
How about forwarding it to us,
Yeah, you can share it.
Bob?
Hmm?
Forward the link to us.
I think I might be able to do that.
Yeah, just share it.
Okay, that'll be done. Okay, now a
Well,
couple other things.
I would have offered to sing, but Sister Mary Joseph in the 5th grade told me to just mouth the words what the class was singing. So I could have been another Tom Jones.
Don't feel bad, Bill.
No.
They told
Tom
me
Jones.
after
No.
my voice changed.
No. Okay. Now, one of the things on the 27th is when we turn in all the glasses. I'm going over to Ward's tomorrow to get into the garage to pick up the ones we have in the various sacks and so forth. Do any of you out there have any glasses that or anybody you can get to give us some glasses? Because then I'll put them in a big box and take them out on the 27th up the hill up here in Daly City and give them to the Lions and get us some points or brownie points or whatever it may be. Okay.
I have a half a dozen pair, but I'll get them to whomever later. Some point in the future.
Just in case, I mean, there are brownies out there, and there's also Girl Scouts. I just thought I'd plug that.
Hey, pass one of those bad boys to me.
Yeah.
Then they got
Share 'em.
when she was over at the Irish Center.
I was at the Irish Center,
They
and
were
they're
selling those things over there.
right outside our Girl Scout stand.
Email me one, Bob.
I'll email you.
Which
That's
ones do you
Samoans.
like?
I'll email you one.
Yeah.
Chocolate mint,
Okay.
samosas. What do you like?
I'm going to go to this. Being a diabetic, I'm going to go to this here. Okay, it's on Saturday. Okay, I just want to see what they say because, you never can tell when you might get some more things that could help you. And for those of us who are. Okay, and I think there's one more here buried in my file. Oh yeah, this is the glasses. Yeah, this is Saturday, 27th, 31 Beeper Street. You got to know where that is. Top of the hill, Daly City. Okay, and
Epler.
so anyhow, I'll take care of the glasses. I might have some more to pick up tomorrow at Stepler's Optometry, which is on Mission, and write down from a client what I'll be tomorrow morning. Okay. All right. That anybody have anything?
No, I do have something to say, Lion President Bob.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Dinner's ready.
No, yesterday we had a phone call from Margot Clews.
Oh, yes.
She's okay, but she did not want to expand on plans to honor Hanford. She did say she's going to stay put at her address and not moved for a while. And she's very thankful that we remembered Hanford. I sent him a sympathy card, but she says she's okay. She sounded good. She had her vaccination, but she missed all of us. And Bob was saying that in the event that we finally have an in-person meeting at the
Bass Center.
At the bus center, she would ask her daughter to drive her to be with us for that dinner or luncheon, whatever. But she does miss being around us and being with us. And that's the extent of our call. I was quite surprised that she called. I did not recognize the number. And normally I don't answer it. I don't recognize. Something tells me to answer it. And it was Margot. She's okay. She's still, quietly reminiscing the good old days with all of us and with Hanford. But she's dealing with it. That's the extent of our call.
Good. Thank you, Sam.
To expand a little bit on that, I dropped off the Melvin Jones Fellowship for all the recipients on Saturday. And Margot's was my first stop in Redwood City. I was there about 8:30 or so. I was restricted from entering the building for the most part, other than the reception desk. So I just dropped off the package for her there. I put a small note inside of it.
Yeah.
And it was the Melvin Jones Fellow plaque for Hanford.
Yeah.
And she did call me. I think she called me later that day, and she did call me, I think, on Monday also, with a similar type of message. She was very happy to get the plaque, and she opened it. And, Hanford would have loved to receive it and all that. So she seemed quite well, pretty well anyway. So she didn't mention she did not mention that we had honored Hanford with the Alliance Eye Foundation, but she may not have received the notification as of that time.
Yeah.
There we go. That's my
okay. Yeah, thank you, Zen, for mentioning that. I'd forgotten about it, even though we did speak. All right. Anybody else have any other thing they'd like to bring up at this time?
No, but I'll let you know. I just emailed Lion Peter Tam to let him know that you guys are willing to host the meeting next week. So as soon as I get a reply from him, I'll let you know, Bob. I'll send it to the board.
Okay, fine, superb. Okay, folks, I think that might be it. Anybody want to make a motion? Lion Bill?
I make a motion to adjourn.
You're such a professional.
No,
yes.
Well, I didn't have any lights on.
You guys need me. You really do.
Yes, we do.
Oh, We wouldn't be able to start or stop without you, Bill. Come on. Okay, with that motion, and I assume everybody is agree, we will adjourn the meeting as far as all the formal stuff is concerned. All
Yeah.
right?